Like it or not, politics matter. They affect every part of how you can live, what you can and can't do, the taxes you pay, and how easy it is or isn't to buy the things you want to buy. I've often been told off if I veer into the political world, so I'm not going to do that in this show. But there is one thing I'm going to say. The current US president is not helping Tesla make electric cars, except not in the way you might think. President Trump hasn't been a particular fan of electric vehicles. Earlier this year at a rally in Michigan, he used an attack on the Green New Deal in which he falsely quoted that it would restrict car ownership to one per family as a way to attack electric cars too, making some jokes about range anxiety. In the past, he's attacked GM for shifting towards electric cars, saying, quote, "All electric is not going to work." And the 2020 budget proposed earlier this year by Trump would end all electric vehicle tax credits, as well as end the loans that help Tesla and other automakers fund more vehicle technology. But all of this isn't the reason why Tesla is suffering under Trump. It's because of the ongoing trade war between the US and China and the heavy 25% tariffs that are being levied on certain Chinese-made goods being imported to the US. You see, while Tesla currently makes all of its cars in the US using a US workforce, and between 50 to 55% of the components in every Tesla on sale today come from either the US or Canada, Tesla still uses sources for many of its computer systems from China. Included on that list is Tesla's third-generation autopilot computer system. While Tesla's custom-made chip is actually made for it by Samsung, at an Austin, Texas facility, and around 75% of all of the other components which make Tesla's third-generation autopilot computer are sourced from outside of China, the final system assembly of said computer board, which Tesla calls the brain of its autopilot system, is done in China. Despite being 75% not Chinese, this assembly process makes the computer 100% Chinese as far as the current administration and the US Trade Representative's Office are concerned. Other components in Tesla vehicles, such as Tesla's famous 17-inch center console touchscreens, are also made in China, so they too are currently subjected to the same import tariffs, as was the Autopilot version 2.5 hardware that's just been replaced by Tesla's third-generation system. They're all tariffed. But here's where it gets messy. Not all Chinese goods are tariffed in the same way, and companies that petition can have their tariffs waived. Tesla has petitioned many times to have its various components waived, but as a letter from earlier this year to Tesla details, Tesla's requests were denied by the government because they concern, quote, a product strategically important or related to Made in China 2025. Or other Chinese industrial programs. So what's Made in China 2025? Well, it's a program being spearheaded by the Chinese government to grow its influence in 10 key industries that are currently dominated, or at least are heavily influenced by, the United States. These industries include electric and alternative fueled vehicles, renewable energy, self-driving cars, AI, robotics, semiconductors, aerospace, and biopharmaceuticals. The US government, under President Donald Trump, wants to try and thwart China's Made in China 2025 program. It also alleges that said program is only possible because of IP theft and laws which require foreign companies operating in China to have a majority ownership by the Chinese government. Tariffs are the big stick that the US is trying to use in negotiating with China on trade, as well as a way to encourage US consumers and businesses to buy American instead. But in a global economy, that approach doesn't work, especially when a company on the receiving edge of that particular tariff program ships its Made in America products around the world and is forced to either pass on the tariffs to its customers or suffer the financial burden of paying more for the parts it needs from China. Some might say that an answer would be for Tesla to source the components it needs from the US. And while that might appear like quite a good solution, Tesla said that it hasn't yet been able to find any companies in the United States who meet its criteria. It told the USTR that for the Model 3, quote, Choosing any other supplier would have delayed the program by 18 months, with clean rooms set up, line validation, and staff training. It continued, for a product as safety critical to consumers and critical to the essence of Tesla, we turned to industry experts who could achieve this quality and complexity in the addition to the deadlines, which was not possible outside of China. When it comes to identifying a supplier, we cannot risk our customers' lives due to a defect from a supplier. In other words, while it tried, and it has a higher made in North America content than many of its rivals, Tesla decided it needed Chinese expertise to let it bring full self-driving to market in the near future. And Tesla's not alone in its requests for exemption either. Other automakers have done the same thing for various computer systems and vehicle parts. At the time of filming, though, no news has been received on their successors. Some companies that have succeeded, however, Apple, Amazon, and Verizon, all of whom have successfully petitioned to have tariffs exempted. Each of these companies have plenty of ties with China and even use the same computer assembly production facility that Tesla uses for its autopilot hardware. And both Apple and Amazon are working on autonomous vehicles, which seems a bit unfair. So what's the real reason? Poor luck? Mentioning the wrong thing on the form? Or something else? Right now, I don't feel I'm personally in a position to speculate, and I'm not going to give you my personal political opinions. Everything I've said to this point has been fact, not opinion, but it's worth noting that these tariffs are hurting Tesla's bottom line as an American company employing American people. That's it. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you liked it or didn't like it below. Scribble a comment, hit the notification bell, and support us with Patreon, Ko-fi, or by grabbing some t-shirts or other swag from our swag shop. I'll be back with another episode very soon, but until then, keep evolving.